This second exercise will help you refine the shapes of the petals and the flowers. The first exercise was really to get your arm moving, get your observation going, and to get the expression and movement. Now we can refine, use our pastel to paint and draw with. I'm using the pastel across its wide edge, flat on the paper, so that I get those lovely big sweeps of colour. And you'll notice that I use the red on each of the 3 tulips. Now I'm using the darker red to add touches of shadow and depth. Notice how I'm giving each flower head the same treatment, keeping each one at the same stage as I'm working. I'm adding little touches, and you'll notice how I'm putting quite a bit of movement into my wrist, into my hand, as I twist the pastel over the page, over the paper. And that gives me a little bit extra movement and style to what I'm doing. I'm also observing the tulips. Every so often I'm looking up, just seeing where I want to go next, what I want to refine in the petals. So constantly I'm looking up, looking at my subject. Observation techniques will come with practice, but generally when you're painting from life, you are observing more than you're painting. So don't forget that. Really look hard at what you're painting and drawing. Get an essence of it. Going back in with the original red, just again to define the petals even more, just with touches, dabs, strokes, getting in some of that feathering pattern. The paper I'm using for this exercise and the previous exercise is a Clairefontaine Maya, which is a really lovely paper for drawing, and it's smooth. I don't like to have unusual textures on my work. I like smooth paper so I can really see what I'm doing, and I can be in control of the texture then. Just getting in those gorgeous stems. I mentioned those stems before and the way they add movement to the piece of work. Also, it's really important with stems to make sure they look as if they're attached to the centre of the flower. And again with your leaves, when you get your leaves in, make them look realistically attached to the flower, to the stem. And think about your greens as well. You might have very yellow greens, which would be quite bright, or you might have greens with quite a bit of blue in them that might recede a little within the composition. Just adding final touches now. And when you've finished, stand back and have a look at your work. Put distance in between you and your work so you can really be objective about it. Adding the last leaf.